the Chinese Communist Party can really do pretty much whatever it wants. If the U.S. government tried something like this, the affected university might sue and might end up winning in court. That's not going to happen in China. Essentially, what's happened is Jack Ma has a very prestigious executive training program. Imagine Mark Zuckerberg running one of these things. But it's actually only accepts students who are already established business people with companies with more than 30 people, revenues of about at least $5 million a year. And essentially a new freshman class was supposed to be starting a couple weeks ago. That class, it will not be starting. The more senior classes are still ongoing, but Jack has not been allowed to recruit a new freshman class.
Tom, what can you tell us? What is the inclination here from the Chinese Communist Party? Why are they doing this? What is the motivation? What does this school either symbolize, or what is it actually doing that is so threatening to them?
It's definitely not a significant threat to the Chinese Communist Party. This story around Jack Ma right now, there's two elements to it. One is simply the crackdown in the business sphere reigning in Ant and also his e-commerce group, Alibaba. Those companies are not going to be as big and powerful as they were before once a regulatory settlement is reached. However, you've got to think about Jack Ma, one of the most influential people in China and arguably one of China's most influential people on the international stage. And the party is worried about that second sphere of influence. And here's a very rich, powerful businessman who was bringing in talented businessmen into his own, businesswoman into his own school, and kind of training up a loyal following of alumni. And that kind of organization outside the party's limits, outside of its direct control, is something it gets really worried about. If anyone was doing that in China, let alone Jack Ma, the party probably would not tolerate it for very long.
Tom, we know that the Chinese government has been looking towards big technology and media companies for some time now, handing out seemingly small fines that are significant in terms of the overall signal they're sending. What exactly can we expect reverberations-wise? Is there a signal that other tech companies out there will say, hey, you know, maybe we'll take note? What exactly can we expect from the other tech companies in China?
Well, so an up-and-coming e-commerce company, kind of the number 3 player in the market, Pinduoduo, their chairman, Colin Huang, recently abruptly resigned. Obviously already a very rich man, but he was on a path to becoming a Jack Ma type character. He's departed the scene. It's obviously a very difficult time to be running a big tech company. The People's Bank of China, which is leading the regulatory negotiations with Ant, they've published rules which haven't been fully implemented yet, but have made it very clear that Ant and its biggest rival, Tencent, will probably be subject to anti-market rectifications in the near future. So it's not just Ant and Alibaba that are going to be affected. All the big players are definitely going to be affected by this current government drive.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.